5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello and welcome to Truth, Beer, and Podsequences. So this is the podcast where my co-hosts and I listen to all the Cincinnati-based craft beer podcasts from the previous week and get together here at our gracious podcast host. We are at Higher Gravity Summit Park and give our version of the truth of how those podcasts went. Now, hopefully, there aren't too many consequences from the hosts of the other podcasts. So far, so good.
You're still alive.
I am.
You're still here.
I am. And not only that, my name is Marco. I am a taproom manager here locally. And that voice you just heard... And they're responsible for the sick fade that just happened, in this intro. That is I'm about to introduce the best co-host in Podcastlandia.
Which is funny because you never actually introduced me.
That's the joke. Yeah,
I'm going to introduce myself. I know.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Just point out the obvious here. I'm Julia. I am a drinker of all the craft beers here in the greater Cincinnati area. And I love writing funny things about said Cincinnati craft beer and other craft beers for beer vent season, which is rapidly approaching. If you have not bought your Higher Gravity beer vent calendar, do so now. Go to Higher Gravity Craft House, HAUS.com, visit the store link on the website, and buy your beer vent calendar. 25 days, a different beer each day, beers that you cannot get anywhere else, special beers from 5 local breweries that they will not make except for this calendar. So get it or don't be mad when you miss out.
Yeah, and hopefully, Julia, your voice holds up throughout this. I know you were screaming a lot at the David Archuleta concert you went to.
Very loud.
So also thank you to everybody who is joining us for the first time. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who's been with us a very long time. And to talk about first times, we have a guest.
Woo-hoo.
And first-time guests introduce themselves.
Mystery guest.
Ooh. I like it.
Ooh. Maybe out of Blue Ash 2. Can you guess yet?
Oh, my.
Ooh.
Okay,
I'm talking directly to the listener.
On the live stream, happening right here.
It's right here.
Who can guess who this voice belongs to? He is a pillar of the Cincinnati craft beer community.
Oh, my gosh.
He is part of one of the best breweries in the area.
Well, thank you.
Hands down. Who just brought back one of my favorite local beers of all time. So, yeah. Do you want to reveal, or do you want to stay a mystery the entire
I don't know. Let's not. Well, I don't know if I can
leave
stay.
it up to you.
We'll stay a mystery for a little bit, but
All right,
based in Blue Ash.
Okay. All right.
If you haven't figured it out, then
All right.
Okay,
I
fair
like
enough.
it. I like it. We'll see which one of us says his name first.
Okay.
And then we'll have to drink when we
can do that.
accidentally reveal your name, unless you get tired and just be like, okay, guys, it's not Josh from March 1st. And then we'll...
Josh is everywhere.
Josh is everywhere. All the Joshes. So all the Joshes, all the Andys. That's what Cincinnati craft beer is made up of.
It is a J name, though.
It is a J name. It is very much a J name, and it is fairly close to March 1st.
Yes.
Ooh. Starting to pull back the curtain a little more.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we are so happy
Welcome.
that you wanted to be on the show. It's really, really cool for us.
All right, I'm
It is
spilling.
very cool.
I'm spilling the beans.
Do it. Okay.
All right, I'm Jim Klosterman from Fretboard.
So the beer, not the bread.
Not the bread. Yeah. Everyone asks me that. It is.
I mean, with a name like Klosterman, you kind of have to...
Ever since I was a kid.
Expect it, I guess. So were you, and I want to do, bonus episode where we talk more about just you, but are you born and raised Cincinnati, or did you come into Cincinnati and people are like, the bread guy, and you're like, what the hell is this?
No, definitely born and raised in
All right.
Cincinnati. So
Awesome.
raised on the west side. So
West side, best side.
West side, best side. And
Marco is making disappointed faces right now, but that's all right.
sorry,
It's all right.
west side, best side.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's all right, sure.
I live in Fairfield now, so I'm not really west side anymore.
Practically Hamilton, man.
I know.
Telling you.
Yeah. Common question.
Yes.
Am I part of the bread? The answer is no. Yeah. But we did, funny story, we did do a collaboration beer with
You
the
did.
Klosterman
It was
baking
delicious.
family. So
I remember
That was
that.
very good.
Yeah, we did 2. We did a rye beer, so
Yeah.
with
That's-
caraway seeds, so it actually had like a rye bread taste to it, and then we did the honey wheat lager.
I don't know
So-
which one
right.
I liked more. They were both really, really good. I'm not normally a rye bread person, but the rye beer was ridiculous.
So
you guys did such a great job on that.
I'd love to bring it back. The thing is, it's definitely very seasonal. So I think fall is the best time for it. But it was, I guess, as far as, style to fit into, I don't know where to put it. I mean, it's a lager, a rye lager, but it's just
like an ESB, an extra special beer.
Yeah, it really, yeah.
Because there are a couple local breweries that tend to find
extra special bitter.
They find there are some breweries that have found new ways of getting a beer that I wouldn't necessarily think of as one type of style, kind of pushed into a style, which is cool. If it works for them, awesome. I'm
not sure where it fits, but it was a great. It was a great food beer. So whether you're
a route beer,
come on. Boy, we might have some fights here when we're talking about, West Side and different beer styles. Smoked beers are wonderful.
Sure.
I mean, come on, Marco.
No, I'm sure it's great. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're fantastic.
Speaking of craft beer,
yes,
we would not be a good craft beer podcast if we didn't mention what we were drinking.
Right.
And Jim is our guest.
Okay.
Would you like to let people know what you have in your glass right now?
Well, I love coming to Higher Gravity because I can try different beers here. They have a great selection of beers, and Jason, the proprietor, is a good friend now. We did the Oktoberfest thing together here in Blue Ash, so got to know Jason very well. And I come here and I drink sours. So right now, Urban Artifact, Gadget, kind of my go-to.
That's probably my favorite Urban Artifact beer.
It's a great beer.
Amazing.
Great, whatever.
What it is, you can't.
Brett wants to call it.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Midwest. Is it a Midwest fruit tart or is it a?
It's a Midwest fruit tart.
Okay.
Midwest fruit tart. Brett, good job. The Gadget is always kind of my go-to.
Have you had the extra thick versions before?
No. No, but I'm ready.
Oh man, I think they announced a couple social media posts ago that they were bringing some of the extra thick, extra pulp versions back. So they are super thick.
I would love to try it.
It's so good. If I see any around,
yes,
I will grab some and I will run it over to you.
Yes, please.
Head it over to Jim.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Marco, how about you?
I am having an all-day IPA from Founders.
Very nice.
Solid.
Very nice. Solid beer. And I am doing from Dark Horse Brewing, which I haven't heard before, their Scotty Karate, their Scotch ale, which I love Scotch ales. This one's...
And Scots and Karate.
And Scots and Karate. I mean,
there you go.
You blend all of my favorite things together, put it in a beer, there you go.
There it is.
I'm ready for it.
Sounds great.
Yeah, never heard of them, but with 10,000 craft breweries out there in the U.S., I mean, it's hard to know all of them. So
this is true.
Very true. All right, let's talk podcasts.
Let's do it.
There were a handful of podcasts that came out this week. Some we didn't get to just due to timing, every day, daily jobs, all that kind of stuff. So the three top ones that we have, Marco and Jim, did you guys get a chance to listen to Cincy Brewcast this week at Alexandria?
Yes.
Just a little bit before my kids interrupted me yesterday.
Oh my gosh! Come on, lock them outside and just be like, "I'm sorry, got to listen to podcasts." Kids are on the back burner right now.
My son asked me what I was listening to, though.
Okay, and did you?
What are you listening to?
He thought it was a home improvement thing because I had in our basement we had our main valve leaking on us, dripping, and he had high anxiety.
And so he was hoping you were listening to something that was
hoping you were going to save the day.
I'm listening to a
There you go.
podcast to tell me how to fix this.
I called the plumber.
That's what I do in my
He fixed it this morning.
my home life. I'm like, we got to call somebody, or I call my wife. I'm like, Rachel, get over here. Something's happening with the thingy.
I need you to call someone for me.
And then at work, the soda gun, I pushed the water button on the soda gun, and it was stuck, and it wouldn't just stop. It just kept going and going. It's like, okay, it filled this cup. Now what do I do? And they brought over one of those igloo coolers, and I just set it in the igloo cooler. I'm like, is someone going to look at that? And yeah, we don't know what to do.
Oh, my God.
So I looked on YouTube, and I figured it out.
Is your place flooding now? Okay, good.
No, I looked on YouTube. It's fine.
YouTube's great.
Yeah.
YouTube's great, but sometimes you just
out.
call somebody else.
Yes.
That's what I did. I said, I don't want the help.
I texted somebody and said, give me the number to Coke. And nobody texted back. I'm like, damn it, I have to figure this out.
I feel like most of the time you do your own work to put a Band-Aid over the bleeding, just to get to slow down, and then you call someone and say,
that was last night.
I want nothing to do with any of this. Get someone that knows what they're doing out of here.
Did you?
No. I knew that one.
Slap it on.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
I knew the plumber that came there, so
There you go.
I owe him some beer. He did it for free.
Well, you know,
Oh,
a guy.
nice.
And he
Nice.
fixed it in 2 minutes.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Did he just pull out the wrench and just tighten it?
That's exactly what he did.
Oh, I have one.
I didn't think it was leaking from there, and he showed up and he tightens the damn thing, and I go, I'm an idiot.
I can one up that.
We all have our zones.
I can one up the just use a wrench and tighten it a little bit. So years and years and years ago, I forget if it was the furnace or the AC, but the HVAC wasn't kicking on. Like the fan was running, but it wasn't doing whatever it was supposed to do for that season. I don't remember if the house was too hot or too cold. So called HVAC guy, looking at everything, try to reset stuff. The fuses are going, pilot lights are on. I can't find anything wrong with it. HVAC person comes out, looks at the thermostat, pops it off. He's like, "Oh, you need to replace the batteries." I'm like,
That's a good one too.
I'm like,
that's a good one.
Wait, the what now? And he goes, "Yeah, most of the time, it's wired into the house's electricity, but you guys don't have that. It's just running off a battery." And I'm like,
From
Right.
battery. Yep.
so he changed the batteries for me.
Yeah, growing up, we had the round
Yes,
silver one
yes.
that looked like
Ours was copper
looked like a
colored.
bell on the wall.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That you just would turn. It was
Oh, yeah.
it was hardwired in the house.
He didn't charge me for it. I think he felt bad. Like, okay, this woman has absolutely no idea what's happening.
He get
So
it.
when I had my furnace replaced 8 years ago, I said, "Can you wire this to the house?" And they were like, "You didn't change the batteries, did you?" And I'm like, "Come on,
Yeah,
no, I did not." And I learned that the hard way. So I called out a service tech to change my batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Welcome to Truth Beer and Home Improvement.
Yes, yes, it is. Good God.
I drank 6 beers after that because I felt inadequate.
Hey,
I had
you
to
know
drown
what?
myself in my sorrows.
You know what?
Did you crush
are
the
a
beer
busy
cans on your
guy.
head?
Yeah, I
when
was
you were
like,
done?
yeah.
You're a busy guy, and you don't have time for just simple home improvement. Period.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't have it. Actually, I'm just going to write a check if I need to.
Oh
Right.
my God!
Pull out the pocketbook.
All right. Well, outside of Cincinnati Home Improvement podcast, did you guys get a chance to listen to Shift Beers?
I did.
All right.
I did not.
Okay.
That's okay.
That could make this even better. And you tell us what
Now
you
I'm going to have to go back and
what
listen to this.
this is. You can tell us what you think happened.
And I
based
love
off
Shift
what
Beers.
Marco and I are doing. It's so much fun. So much fun.
All right, good.
And then one that has taken an extended hiatus but is finally back, Sonder Stories.
I did listen to a little bit of that, yes.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, as our guest, is there one particular podcast you want to start with out of those three?
I'm going with Shift Beers because
Hell yeah.
it's the
Okay.
wild card.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Let's do that.
A little out of our usual order, but that's fine. I love
Fine.
it.
It's fine.
I'm here for it.
It's good to shake it up every now and then.
That's right. Sometimes
Let's
put a
see.
Mentos in it too.
So, oh my God. And then the beer goes not as everywhere as you would think.
Are you going to share that with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I will.
All right.
I share my Patreon.
Yeah.
Shit beers, suck it. So let's see, episode 103, spooky beers.
Yeah.
Because they did pumpkin beers last week. This episode, they were drinking beers that had either spooky or Halloween-ish themed can art, names, that type of thing. It wasn't the longest episode, mostly because Chris wasn't there. He was off doing, I don't know, work or family stuff, something
Right.
that was not as important as drinking beers, obviously.
Right.
But it happens from time to time.
Taking kids to Taekwondo or whatever it may be.
I'll tell you what.
Hanging out
though,
at the crowbar.
his kid is lethal. So
Yeah.
keep giving her those
They
lessons.
give her a sword and stuff.
Yeah. They gave Chris's oldest a sword.
That's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
very cool.
That's actually
It is
cool.
very,
Yeah.
very cool.
They don't give me a pocket knife. Although I did get
no
my
one
totem
would.
chip when I was in Cub Scouts.
I'm a big fan of Cobra Kai, so
Nice.
The-
I need to start it because I'm just behind on everything
Oh, yeah.
in the world.
Oh my
But
God!
It's
When you
epic.
start,
it's epic.
So good.
it's good and terrible at the same time.
It's
Perfect.
it's a train wreck. It's so awesome.
Perfect. Even more. Like, I love watching, to kind of go down another tangent. There's
Yes,
a
please.
YouTube channel called So Bad It's Good, where they watch just awful movies and just kind of do commentary on it.
Right.
Like MST3K, but they try to find like these B-rated movies. They did not the Birds, Birdemic, if you've ever heard of that one. Holy crap. It kills me. I'll have to send you guys a link.
I know the birds,
or you don't have
No,
to.
no,
or you
this
can,
is-
whatever.
This is so much worse than the Birds in every imaginable way possible for the word worse. It's amazing.
Okay.
It is absolutely amazing. I'll send you guys links.
I did watch Halloween Ends this past weekend.
How is that? Not good.
Good.
I was laughing at it. Because my wife's like, I want to watch this. I said, okay.
Okay, all right,
And
let's
I'm
put
not
this
like a
on.
big fan of those movies, but I watch them anyways. And, when I watch them, I'm like, what the hell?
What is going on?
What is going on?
Was your wife hitting you the time? Shut up, stop laughing. I'm trying to enjoy this.
No, at some point, she goes, yeah, it's really not that good.
Was it better or worse than Freddy versus Jason, the way that ended?
I don't know.
I happened to catch that one night, like after one show ended, and I'm like, this is terrible. It's so bad.
But there is something so fun about watching bad movies like that if you know going into
There's
it.
a massive fan base for that.
There really is.
Yeah.
There really, really is.
It truly is.
So speaking of terrible things, Shift Beers.
Right.
And the train wreck that is their episode. They were doing their introductions, and Josh just didn't introduce himself, so God knows who he is or what he does.
Right.
I guess you can figure it out if you've listened to more than one episode. And apparently, for the drunk line, they said if you call in and you're not drunk, we're going to cut you off. Shouldn't that be the opposite, where if you are that drunk, you should be cut off? Or do you think that when it comes to the drunk line, that can kind of be a little forgiven?
I think what is unsaid is that when you call into the drunk line, number one, they hope you're safe, but number two, they're here for the full on drunkenness. And tell us about your experience and what's going on, at least in your own words at that time. The other thing is that way when you listen to Shift Beers and they play it, you can probably be reminded of whatever that scenario was, because it probably wasn't the way you thought.
No. You probably thought you were a lot funnier than you were when you called into the drunk line.
It's like when I listen back to our show, I'm like, damn.
You're like, oh, God, especially near
Need
the
to work
end.
on that funny.
Especially on Tequila Tuesdays.
And what day is it?
Oh, God, it is Tequila Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
It is. It is $6 margaritas. And they are pretty daggone good.
I like margaritas.
Tequilas are good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever called anyone when you were so drunk that when either they played your voicemail back to you or...
I can't.
Or-
The answer is yes, and I can't talk about it.
That's fair. That's fair. It was just a
Then
yes or no
it was
question.
great. It was epic
That's
then.
fantastic.
It was epic, and I can't talk about it.
That's fine. We won't.
So
I got a couple good ones. I can't talk about
can't
it.
talk about them. And hey,
I
you
have
know,
one that's recorded.
Oh yeah,
And it's
Yes.
not been released.
oh yeah.
oh God, yeah,
Everyone is in trouble.
yeah. Everybody.
Everyone.
Marco calls out everyone. No one is safe in that call. But yeah, maybe we'll have a drunk line call on Shift Beers in the next couple episodes. Who knows?
I think humanity would be better if we just embraced the drunk line.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
accepted it for what it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Again, as long as
Because
you're safe,
sometimes you
as
got to
long
get
as-
shit out. Right.
Oh my God. Sometimes those great ideas need to be broadcast to the world, and what better way to broadcast them to the world than by telling Shift Beers about them?
I love it.
It's fantastic.
Genius.
It's fantastic.
Get on it, everyone.
So guys, call the drunk line. I have the number somewhere in my notes, but what is it? 70 drink is Gnome's drunk line.
Yeah, it's something.
High five beer.
Yeah, it's like 867 high five beer
5309. Oh.
or something like
I don't
that.
know.
Check it out in the show notes. Go check out Shift
Sure.
Beers.
Check out Shift Beers show notes. They have it in there. This episode, it was kind of hard to write down a lot of notes because a lot of the conversation was them describing the can art
Yeah.
for the beers that they were drinking. They did post pictures of all of them on their social media.
Yeah,
So if you're
I
not
saw
following
that.
Shift Beers, do it because some of those were amazing and terrifying, and
I saw them. Yeah, they put them on Twitter for sure. I know they said
they were on
gonna-
Instagram as well.
Good, thank you. My assumption was, well, they said they were going to be on Instagram, but
Yes.
I wouldn't know.
Yes. Funnily enough, unlike Cincy Brewcast, when they say they're going to post something in the show notes to social media, they follow through, which I would almost normally assume would be the opposite.
Well, but Josh's full-time job is in
That's
social
true.
media.
It's social media. This is very true.
I don't know.
Although, isn't Gnomes technically sort of, kind of?
Yeah. I'd agree. I would
love
agree with
it.
that noise.
It's whatever. Beth drank an Urban Artifact beer that had boysenberries in it during her drinking segment, and she couldn't remember what it was. I know of 2 Urban Artifact beers that have boysenberries, so I'm not sure which one it is. Pie Bird, I think.
Who did
is
Boys in
either-
the Hood? Was that Listerman?
That was. That
Oh, gosh.
sounds right.
Or was it
Oh
Nine
no.
Giant?
I don't remember.
Because I know that Listerman does or did a whole bunch of like hip hop theme, which Boys in the Hood would have fit, but Boysen the hood, as in boysenberry. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I got the berry.
And
Yeah.
I
Chuck
don't
berry.
know that was Listerman.
Stephen berries.
Stephen Bears.
Berry
The gold
bonds.
berries.
I can
Wait,
Google
what?
it.
You could Google it. Or we could just have the listeners, if they're that interested.
They can comment.
Look it up. They can comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
On the live stream right
So
here.
Pie Bird and Bipetasaurus, I believe, were the two boysenberry beers that
Is it
I'm
PETA
aware
or
of.
PETA?
We don't talk about petas here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
PETA.
Very good.
I think it was Bipetasaurus. Cephalosophagus. I don't know. Who knows?
Whoa.
Who knows?
Hey,
We're
on?
just
what are you giving everybody here, Julia? Hold on a second.
This gadget's delicious.
What are you passing around?
Urban makes amazing beers, but my guess is Pie
Julia
Bird
with
because
it.
I believe that is one of the most recent. Whatever. Just getting down with the source. Who knows?
Okay.
No idea what I'm doing anymore. Let's see. They give you tips on how to break into by gollies, which I don't know if that was responsible of them or not.
And did they put that picture on
Yes,
social
they
media?
did. They have a picture of by golly security system, and
What?
yeah. So
Hold on a second.
I'm gonna bring this up for you, Jim, because
For you and
it
the
is-
live stream audience, look at this.
Yes, that is not how you spell shift beers because I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
There's an F before the T.
Oh,
Right.
okay, there we go. That makes
That's a
whole
different
lot more sense. What show are we recording?
Yes.
I don't know what show we're recording again anymore. All right, so can art.
Okay.
Can art.
Got it.
And
Yep.
then it ends with that. That is apparently
Hold on, I'm old. I need to get my glasses.
my contacts are like 3 inches thick, so I know what you're saying.
Why is that a spoon?
Exactly. Exactly. It's I don't know. I
This
don't
is a
know.
spoon. That way it'll hurt more.
If you have not watched the short movie, I think it's called like The Incredibly Slow Death with the Incredibly Inefficient Weapon or The Incredibly Slow Murder. It's brilliant.
Oh, my gosh.
It's ridiculous. But yeah,
Cool.
so yeah, listen to this episode. If you listen to Shift Beers in general, if you want to know all of their Wi-Fi passwords, and
Yes.
if you want them to tell you how to break into places.
Yes.
Sweet.
It's wholesome entertainment all the
They
way
had a
around.
whole section about vehicle
Yeah, yeah.
entry.
Yes.
Was
Yes,
it last
and-
episode or the 2 episodes ago?
I think it was 2
Jim, I'm just going to
episodes
do you a
ago.
favor and
Break-
let you
Holy
know.
crap.
Breaking into cars?
I'm just going to let you know.
It was-
that
it
if
was
you
2
drive
episodes
If you
ago.
drive a company vehicle to a festival, just lock the door.
Lock the
Okay?
doors. Yes. Especially if you know that the people
For like a beer van? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just lock the
Or if you know that they know what your personal vehicle is, just
lock-
lock
just
your
lock the
doors.
door.
Just lock your doors.
I don't have
That's all
any
we're
stickers on my car, so it never. You cannot unless you
Good.
know my car.
saying. Well,
Can I-
they might be watching. They might
You
be
don't have
watching
like
to see who
wrestling
comes
stickers
out of
on
the-
bumper stickers back there, like
No.
no
Okay.
Goldberg or anything.
Cool.
Jim is like completely.
I am. I
off
don't
the
have.
radar
I don't
when
have
he-
any tattoos.
He's
I have no stickers. I don't want people to know.
Yeah,
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
people know too much nowadays.
It's true. They really do.
they really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even like. When I was at my previous job, we had to have our full name on business cards. I'm like, I don't love
like
this.
that. Did,
I don't
did you
love
make,
this.
Did you make up a first name or a last name for it?
No, I didn't. But I was like, I don't love this. People are going to find me on social media. Damn it! What are you doing with that?
Well, at any point in time, if I give you my cell number, I'm getting blown up for random stuff, and a lot of it has to do with beer. But it's like, it's 6:00 and I'm eating dinner, and I get hey, this beer, and I'm like,
And you're like,
shit, why did I just look at that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry
I
about
literally just took attention away from my children.
Sorry about that,
to
buddy.
respond to.
Right, like,
Thank you. I'm glad you
thanks.
like XYZ beer.
Just start doing the
or-
thumbs up emoji like that.
So-
just
I'll
thumbs
keep
up.
that in
All
mind.
right.
Sorry
All
about
right.
And I'm a people person. I love people. I think it's great. But at some point in time, you got to like shut her down.
Yes.
right. Like
And
shit
not
beers.
everybody.
Like,
You should shut it down.
Shut her down.
oh my God.
All right.
We got another Brian the Brewer guy segment talking
yeah.
about cryo hops, which that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys done a ton with cryo hops?
Just the Fatheads Clam.
okay.
Grateful
Yeah.
spinner.
The Grateful
That was
Spinner.
so good.
That's
It
a
is
good
good.
one.
So good,
I
yeah.
had one yesterday.
Nice.
Well, thank
Are
you.
they harder to work with or easier to work with or just about the same as any other?
I would say the same.
About the same?
So
Okay.
I'm only speaking
Sure.
on
Behalf of
knowledge
the
of
brewers. Yeah,
on
yeah.
behalf of the brewers, but
Okay,
about
cool.
the same. So
Very cool. Lindsay, who did the drunk call that they played in episode 100, apparently sent them beers,
She did.
which is pretty cool. So they're like, yeah, we're going to send you beers too, except we don't package any of our beers anymore, so you're going to get our seltzers, but we promise that they're really good. So Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I
Yeah.
think hopefully next episode we'll hear about
Well, and
some of the
she's
beers.
as loyal a listener, then she knows that them actually executing
Yes.
shipping beers,
Yes.
little
Although-
struggle for them.
To be fair,
I know.
the last time they tried shipping beer somewhere, it was across national borders, which isn't
Right.
Not good.
the easiest thing
Not-
to try.
not easy, not good.
You shouldn't try to do it unless you have proper licensing to do stuff like that.
Nah, who
but
does, but whatever.
It's
You know.
stupid, isn't it?
you know,
I think
I'm
it
just-
is. I think it's archaic.
What, shipping beers?
Across state lines.
No,
Across
the
state
law.
lines?
No,
Oh, no,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. Maybe if you're established in Ohio
Mm-hmm.
and they say we don't want you as a business, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
to ship across state lines. But if you're like a regular person,
Sure.
Yeah.
I should be
Pay
able
an
to
extra?
ship
Yeah.
beers to my buddy in
Ship
California.
Ship your,
Sure.
candles and homemade sauces
Right.
across the from state to state.
Everybody,
it's fine.
everybody
It's good.
watching the
We-
live stream can see
Sees
Julia with
my
the air
air
quotes.
quotes.
We had a lot of air quotes in
There-
that little
there's
segment there.
Lots of air quotes. So many
Yeast
air
samples.
quotes.
That's what we put down. Yeast samples as brewers.
Yeah, yeast.
Yeast. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, that works.
Yep.
Not inaccurate.
That's correct.
Not inaccurate at all.
Bending the truth
it's-
mildly.
Hey,
Just
it's,
slightly.
it's still I'm
Hey.
I'm shipping water.
Yeast samples.
Technically,
Water.
it's part of it. So
Shipping
yeah.
water, hops, barley.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's together.
Combine at your own risk, unless
All
we
right.
did it for you. Anyway,
What do you got, Julia?
only had 2 more notes on this. Like I said, it was a fun episode, but there wasn't. I don't feel like there was a ton for us to really dig into, just because a lot of it was about describing the can art, which it would just be us describing what they were describing, and that's not fun.
Some of the beers were as weird as some of the artwork.
True that. And only half of their bonus beers were good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. If you see a
That's
cinnamon
because,
toast crunch beer, be careful.
Yeah, that's because
Or, I'm sorry, a
Josh is.
cinnamon square cereal beer.
Yeah,
Was that
I don't
what
know.
it was?
I don't know. Josh is on a roll lately about being the guy to find just the worst beers on the shelf. And not that it doesn't sound good, but he shows up and it's out of
And
code or it's
right,
oxidized or it's
right.
just he's a magnet for
You're
just
meaning like quality.
quality.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Not
it
good.
sounds good. Right. Like the beer sounds good. The description sounds amazing. The ingredients sound great. And then they open it and it's, like Marco said, it's either, oxidized or it's just, it doesn't hit the mark that
Yeah.
they
It's
expected.
off.
So do better, Josh. Because
Yeah.
I know you have full control over all of this stuff.
Come on, Josh.
Be better. Do better.
Last thing that we have is this episode's burp count. And Jim, if you can read my handwriting, would you like to give the burp count numbers? Number of burps.
Oh,
I know.
I'm like, well, I was
what
looking
the,
down.
He's
Where
looking at
is
my
it?
notes like, what the hell is going
the
on? What
margins, Jim.
is this?
I have
So-
37,
Yep.
which equates to 74 ounces consumed, 4.625 pints.
There we go.
So not bad for an episode that was. It was just a little over 50 minutes, I believe.
They were down a team member, R.I.P. Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And yeah,
Maybe-
I mean that was fine. That was,
yeah.
that's,
It was a good amount of time for what the episode was
that's
about.
a good time.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a good time.
Now, do they tell you what they consumed after this?
It's in the show notes, and while they're no, so this is every audible burp. So
Yep,
what we
right.
came up with is
And I know you did this live when we were talking.
Yes.
You were talking about this.
Yes.
It's genius,
it is so much. It's fun,
and
but
it's
at the
fairly
same
accurate,
time-
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Like I have a clicker, which is the most
Which was
amazing
given
thing.
to
That's insane.
From
yes.
them.
So Gnome and Shift Beers both got us clickers without knowing that the other ones were going to be doing that.
Right.
It's fantastic.
So it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I love it. So every time, and there's sometimes where I am so dedicated to this craft, guys, that I will rewind the episode like 30 seconds, whatever, to make sure, was that a burp or is that just them clearing the throat, whatever. 'Cause
Right.
I
A clear
wanna,
throat.
I want to make
a
sure.
pre-burp.
I want to make sure that if
Sometimes
you're
there's a
drinking
little,
along,
Yeah.
gurgle.
Well,
right
it's like
for it.
beforehand. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Got it.
So I do what I got to do, and so sometimes it takes me twice as long to listen to these episodes as it should.
Well, somebody's got to do it, Julia, and
You're glad it's me.
thank you for doing it.
Oh man, well that is Shift Beers. Marco, do you want to take a quick break? So
Yeah,
you
he's
get more
squirming
beer in
over
your
there.
glass?
I just
I
keep,
know.
he's like
I know.
he
He's
like
I need
keeps
another beer. I need
looking
another beer.
out the window. He's looking at me, you. maybe over the bar.
I always sit with my
back
back.
at me.
Yeah.
Back out the window.
Well, he gets freaked out about not knowing what's happening behind him, but then he always chooses to sit with his back to the window, and I'm like, dude.
Because I have to see what comes in the door.
But I can see what's
Yeah,
going to come in
baby.
the door before you.
I don't know if that's what you meant, but okay.
Oh my god!
Thanks, Jim. Not
This
exactly,
is the episode
but
that I
sure.
die. We all know why.
Sounded good.
Well, do we want to take a real quick break so that you can get another beer, Marco, and Jim,
Yeah.
you're getting low, so we can then
I know.
switch off to.
The Gadget was delicious.
Yes.
All right, let's
I'm
time for
so good
another.
with my almost 10%er, so this is probably going to take me
Okay.
through the rest of the episode. But yeah, we'll blah blah blah.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Holy shit, we made it back, guys.
I know.
And 2 of the 3 of us have fresh beers because slow ass drinker right here. Marco,
all right.
what's in your glass?
It's a staple for me. Whenever I see it on a board,
Ooh,
Rattles
let me.
Pills.
Oh, I was just gonna say, let me guess, and I was gonna
It's
guess that
Rattles
one.
Pills, yeah.
Nice, good one. And Jim,
Urban Artifact Key Punch.
hell yeah,
There we
I'm
go.
noticing a trend here.
I know. I
Very
just
good.
I got to get my sour on.
So
Higher
do you-
gravity. That's what I do here. Just for a
Yeah.
couple, and then I'll
So
venture off.
was Urban around when you still lived on the west side, or
No.
did you move out of there? Okay,
No,
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
Okay.
So-
you kind of missed out. Got to move back. It's pretty cool on the west side.
No.
Some parts of the west
Yeah,
side.
yeah. No, West Side's fine,
when
but
you
I'm not
lived on
gonna.
the West
I
Side.
meant no. I mean, God, that timing was terrible. No, I love
I
the
love
West.
it.
No,
I
I
love
love the West Side. But no, we're
No?
not moving.
When-
Moving's not an option.
When you lived
I mean, it always is, but
When
no.
you lived on the west side, this is a very, very important question.
Yes.
Marco will judge you for the rest of your life on this one.
He
Okay.
didn't. I know he didn't.
We'll see.
I'm gonna sip a
We'll
beer
see.
now and ponder
Yes.
as you ask me this question.
When you lived on the west side, okay, were you an adult still in the west side? Was that just child ages? So I phrased the question correctly.
The history is I lived, or I was born in my parents' house that they moved when they moved to that particular house in 76, 75, whenever the house
Whatever.
was built.
Okay.
Born there. I moved out for a little bit in my 20s, or actually 21, 22, somewhere in there, over to like Springdale area.
Okay. Okay. And then you went back a bit?
After 5 years, lived in California for a little bit, then moved back.
Okay, so
And
you
so-
personally had a car when you lived on the west side.
Yes.
Did you or did
And
you
then when I got
not?
married, that's where we moved to Fairfield. So
Okay,
at
okay.
30, 31.
So when
31.
So I guess this will be kind of a slight 2-part question, both you and your parents.
Car on the west side.
Car on the west side.
Got it?
Did you use your driveway? Or did you park on the street? Did your house have a driveway?
What the hell?
Nobody on the west side parks in their driveway.
Oh my god.
I parked in the driveway.
All right, there we go.
there we
There we
go.
go. There we
What
go.
a smart guy.
Nice. Yes,
Okay.
there-
God, that was a big
so-
buildup.
Well,
Hey,
I didn't have to sip a beer
don't
for that,
know.
but
on
I
my
just
street.
know why nobody parks on the freaking driveway.
Yeah, well, it's so that people don't take the spot in front of your house. So if you're parked there,
Oh.
I don't. Where does this
so-
From the
stereotype come
west
from?
side. I mean, from the west side. I don't know.
from the west side. So
Okay.
I think Carol. I'm sorry, Caroline.
Is this
and
like
Joe from
is this
Craft
like
Parenting
north
Podcast
side or
brought it up.
something? Is that
I'm
Or
like,
Delhi, or-
like Westwood, Delhi,
Okay.
Codedale, Price Hill, that
Yeah.
area. I think Craft Parenting Pod is more like the Bridgetown side of things, but like Marco noticed it. And my boyfriend complains all the time.
I think
there
it's-
are 2 houses on our street that do not have driveways.
Now, where do you-
okay,
where do you
that's
live?
Fine. I'm like Price Hill, Delhi, kind of where they.
It's because
connect.
but how old's your house?
1929.
That's why. Yeah, so-
But we have a driveway, and so I park in the driveway, not on the because the streets are narrow.
Yeah, but
People park on both sides of the street, and they don't use their driveway, and it pisses me off.
But think about the west side. The west side has those driveways, like, and I have tons of friends on the west side. They have it's like a very small driveway that can fit 2 cars.
Yes.
One behind the other, not
Yes,
side by side.
not side
Not
by
side by side, yeah,
One
one
big-
behind the
a
other.
single
Yeah,
lane
yeah, yes.
driveway.
Yes.
My current driveway is so long, I could probably fit. It's
Like
2
13
cars
cars.
side by side. I could probably fit 10 cars, no
Oh,
problem.
good Lord.
But it's it's older homes.
It is.
Right.
It is. But it's still funny that, well, I say funny, air quotes for, live stream, whatever.
Isn't it
There
ironic?
are almost no one. There are very few people on our street. And like even on like my mom's street when she before she moved into her condo, which happy moving day, Mom. Hopefully the movers got everything into your condo without any issues today.
Yay, Mom.
It was always, they didn't use the driveway. They would just park on the street. Well, I want the driveway to be open for, I don't even know what. Like even using
Their
the lawnmower.
milk delivery?
I have no idea.
When the guy showed up with the milk. Like, I don't know. Or was it the church is telling them not to take up that property and not to build a driveway
The
because
Lord
they needed
says, "Thou shalt not park in your driveway."
10% to this ginormous church that we have here.
Oh my God! But yeah,
Which is one on every
just
corner.
curious, because a lot of people are like on the west side. People don't use their driveway. So since you are a former West Sider, I wanted to know: did you or did you not use your driveway? That's it. That's
Take
it.
10 minutes in the middle.
20 minutes later,
Our
we
house,
have now.
our house was built in '75, so it had. We could park 6 cars in the driveway.
Nice.
One behind the other, though.
Well, 1.
Okay,
one,
double.
Double. Yeah. Not
very
that.
good.
Yeah, it wasn't that long of a driveway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a newer subdivision.
Well, and
So
now
what's- yeah, okay,
homes have to be able to have.
And by West Side, I mean Montford Heights, which is if
That's
you're a
Coleraine,
West, it's Coleraine. It's not Coleraine.
It's like Fairfield practically being Hamilton. It's the same difference. Montford Heights, Coleraine, Hamilton, Fairfield. It's all the same. It is all the
Newer
same.
technology must be tough too. Like, I mean, how many outlets did you have? Did you have overhead fans?
Never
Did you
enough.
have overhead fans?
Never enough.
Do you have to turn the light switch on? And plug a lamp into only one light socket
my
to
God.
make it
Yeah.
work.
We have a few things.
Anyways,
It's
I
amazing.
digress. We have digressed.
We have, but it was.
I could
it
keep
was
going.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God,
could.
yeah.
I could keep
God, yeah.
That's
Hey,
that's for later.
This episode would be nothing about the podcast. We just talk
Oh
about
my God!
the houses we grew up
I
in.
am looking forward to the bonus episode.
It's gonna be
so
great.
much. It's going to be amazing. All right, 2 podcasts to go:
Okay, let's go.
Sonder Stories or Cincy Brewcast.
Let's go with Sonder stories.
All right.
All right.
Sonder Stories is finally back from an extended hiatus, and this is Chapter 95, Clash of the Test Loggers. I do want to start this kind of recap off by reintroducing the guest or the host, whatever you want to say, for this episode, because it's been a while.
The round table.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So we had Danny TikTok Harold, who is a pizza consultant and a professional wedding attendee.
Also,
as we all know.
Bangs chains on the weekends.
Damn straight he does. We have Justin, who is everybody's best friend, and he thinks that anything south of the northern part of the 275 loop is downtown. It's all downtown Cincinnati once you cross that.
Justin and I are like soul sisters.
Yeah.
You believe that too?
Yeah. Practically.
All right.
Might as well. Marco has a bubble. And once you get outside of that bubble, you're in downtown. You're either in
That is-
downtown or you're
it's
in
like
Dayton.
you're in
It's
downtown.
one of the two.
Yeah, Oakley downtown for sure.
My brother and I always talk about his bubble. He's a professor at UD.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says he lives in a bubble. So
Well,
Yeah.
everyone knows. We're like, oh, Don's out of his bubble. He's in Blue Edge at the brewery. I love you, Don.
oh,
He
man.
does. It's funny.
that's good.
You guys are in a bubble if
Yeah.
you think it's downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, there was
fretboards
one
downtown.
There was
No.
one conversation with Justin. I don't remember what episode this was in, but there was one point where Justin was talking about something that was like either Kenwood or Silverton area.
Oh, totally downtown.
And he was just like, "That's like downtown," and I'm
It's
like,
totally
"What the
downtown.
hell are you
No.
talking about, man? No, it's
High
not
grain.
that-
It's good.
Yeah, downtown, high
it's
grain.
You could
downtown.
walk to
Yeah.
Northern Row. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just downtown.
I'm not lying.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Hey, Bob Ballas would do it from Fibonacci.
yeah, he would.
Dude, he walked from Fibonacci down to
Mount Healthy
Urban and-
downtown.
Holy crap! It's all downtown. Everything's downtown.
Mount Healthy is Mount Healthy.
This is very true. That
Yeah.
is a bubble.
That is a bubble,
That is its
yeah.
own very.
I have friends from Mount Healthy.
I'm sorry.
It's not a bad
No,
not a
it's
bad
not.
thing.
No, it's
To
not a
Blue
bad
Ash very often.
not a bad thing.
Oh man! All right, the other 2 people on this episode, Chase, who only speaks German, went outside of the podcast. He will fight you if you try to cheers with an empty pint glass.
That's true.
And his mom only listens to Sonder Stories when he is a guest on Sonder Stories.
That's true. And he told us, just to remind everyone, he cares about the planet so much that when he takes a shower, he turns the water on, lathers up, turns the water off.
Yes.
And then lathers up, and then turns the water on
Rinses,
to rinse,
yep.
and then turns the water, back off.
Yes.
It's like it's a start and stop shower
Was
scenario.
that during the responsible?
I don't think it has
products
anything to
episode?
do with the planet.
It's
I think he likes rubbing soap all over his body with no water on him.
That could be. It's a
my
sensory
God.
thing.
It is.
It's
It's
a
a total
sensory
sensory. I'm going to call him out on it.
Okay.
oh
good.
yes, yes, I love it.
I've met
love
Chase
it.
before. I would say, Chase, you just like the lather soap all over your body. You love it.
Oh God, I'm gonna die. Oh, good Lord! And then we had Chad, who
Yeah.
Chad got a salad the other day.
Ah,
So good for him.
congratulations,
Good for
Chad. Proud of you.
He's a hell of a foaler or a fowler, depending on which pronunciation you pick best. And
Fuller.
And according to chapter 88 of Sonder Stories, he almost lost a keg of beer in the middle of the road.
That was an amazing story.
It was absolutely
That
an
was
amazing
a
story.
really amazing story.
Check
he
out.
almost damaged
A lot of things.
a lot of things.
A lot of things. Yes.
Those loose kegs. I mean, you know about
So
loose kegs.
So
Loose kegs sink ships.
transporting the beer.
Mm-hmm.
Was it on a truck?
Was.
Because I listened to
Was it a truck or a van? It's
Well,
been a
this
while,
wasn't in
but
this particular episode, but yeah,
This was in
Eddie-
episode 88, or I'm
Okay.
sorry, chapter
Yeah, he was
88
trans-
of Sonder Stories.
transporting
And he
a
told
beer.
story about it.
and
Oh,
then the
sorry.
the keg,
Okay, okay.
the
Making
keg,
noises.
The keg left.
it wanted freedom.
Yeah. Yes.
It was like Mel Gibson in that movie with the
Jesus.
with the kilts and shit.
I can actually.
Braveheart.
Braveheart. That's
Oh
it.
my God! And I'm drinking,
That's what
a
it was. The
Scottish
keg-
ale.
the
so
keg
my
needed
God,
to
it's all coming
leave.
together. Jesus Christ!
I can sympathize.
I just
Yeah.
I actually almost killed somebody.
what?
Ooh, today?
No, years ago.
No.
Okay.
Thanks, Liam.
Guys,
Wow, we
stick
got
around
Liam.
for the bonus episode.
That's a bonus
because
episode. I
holy
can sympathize
crap,
with that. Yes.
This is going to be.
That's like 150, 60 pounds of mass
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
at you
and
Yeah.
it
of weight.
doesn't want to stop. It
No.
rolls.
No, it
No.
would
poorly.
mess
sometimes.
anyone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would hurt. Yeah.
Way more than a flesh wound.
Yeah. Yeah. You might actually need to see a doctor about that one.
Yeah. I have a
So-
I have a scar somewhere from it.
Oh my God.
Actually, right there.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good
I have one
scar.
from bike riding when I learned to ride my bike.
That's not a keg.
No, it's not.
I just have a birthmark on my forehead that kind of looks like a seahorse when it shows up. That's all. That's all I got. I've got nothing. I've got no good scars stories.
I dropped a keg and it hit your head. It'll be
And-
a better.
and it
It'll be a
happened-
better
yes,
story.
yes.
We can-
So
we'll make
this
this
one
up.
time when I was at fretboard, Jim was there and he goes, "Hey Julia, catch this!" Lobbed a keg towards me.
I'm that strong.
Oh my God! I turned around because I'm strong enough to catch one if you throw it at my head.
Right.
I didn't hear. Turned around. What was that? Bam! Right in the
Bam.
forehead, and it's been
Way better.
It's
Way
been
better.
way better ever since. Way better.
You get better.
I get radio stations.
That's what I
the
was going to say. Reception. You
Yeah,
get the reception.
yeah. I don't know how, but it's amazing.
Start a rumor.
Absolutely amazing.
Apparently,
Oh, my
apparently
God.
I'm violent.
Speaking of violent, they had some killer new intro music
Wow.
and a quote for this episode. Danny had mentioned that what he's going to do is pick one quote from the most recent episode to play during the intro.
Yep.
Instead of what they've done during previous seasons of Sonder Stories, to where it was just kind of a montage of some of the best quotes. Not sure if I'm for it or not yet, because that montage of quotes was always amazing. But I'm excited to see what they pick out
Sure.
of every episode.
And by they, we
highlight.
mean
we
Danny,
mean Danny,
'cause
yes,
it's just
yes,
Danny.
It's just Danny.
Yeah, that
Yes.
does that. The
It's
production
true.
aspect.
It's true.
I can't believe that everybody just leaves Danny to handle all the production aspect of that. That's
He's a
kinda bullshit.
responsible guy. Come on.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
For sure. But I
Yeah.
mean, other people are there. They could help.
But do you trust any of them as much as you trust Danny?
I only trust Danny.
Right. I know. I don't know that
Yeah.
I would trust anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would get Justin picking a quote that's just Justin saying, "Man, we were best friends right off the bat," and that would be the only thing.
Right.
The only quote, time in and time out, because it is everyone that Justin meets is his best friend. When I finally met him at Oktoberfest, my God, it was like,
Yeah.
it legit was, no joke. It was like meeting or like re-meeting a friend that you haven't seen in a while. Like that's just how welcoming and how
Yeah.
amazing of a guy that he is.
Absolutely.
So
Just,
we poke fun, but
A pleasant, gregarious
yes,
guy.
yes.
But
Great
we don't
beer.
work for him.
Great beer. No.
I'm sure everybody. But
I don't know.
The collective.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
No
everybody that works for him loves him
No
too.
one does.
I love Justin as well.
Oh my God.
As well.
So one of the cool things about this episode that you found out before they got into the main topic of the episode is Danny used to play the accordion, apparently.
Yes.
In grade school.
Yes.
Yes.
Accordion.
So hopefully we'll get a little bit of that as some of the intro music at some point.
That's how Weird Al started.
It is. And look where he is now.
I don't play the accordion.
Well, you're letting me down, Jim.
Guitar.
Guitar?
Nah, not cool enough.
Do you do any Weird Al covers?
No, but I'd like that'd be fun as hell, actually.
That would be awesome.
Get you up on fretboard one night on the stage
Hell
there
yeah.
doing some Weird Al covers.
Have you ever been on fretboard? This is like totally bonus episode material.
we keep,
but
like,
man,
All right, no.
Swerving.
All right, what's your question? Hold on.
have you ever played on fretboard stage?
That's for the bonus.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well done. All right.
Good job, sir.
The main part of this episode, Clash of the Test Lager. Sonder is doing something really cool. They want a year-round lager on tap all the time. Was that just me?
No, it happened.
Okay, all right, just checking. Just making
Was it the lights or was it an animal swooping in on you?
I don't know.
It got really dark
It just
for a
got
second.
really dark, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm having a stroke
Yeah.
or
You were
or
about
something.
dragons? You
Yeah.
thought it was a dragon?
Goblins.
Ah, it was a
Those
goblin.
goblins.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Oh my God. This is going to be so much fun to edit. That's all I'm going to say. But they're going to have a new year-round lager, but they want the public to pick the lager. So they have 2 test lagers on tap right now: Test Lager 1, Test Lager 2, a Pilsner, and a light American lager. And you get, is it like 2 10-ounce pours that you get to test while you're in
Oh,
the
is that
tap
how you
room?
were supposed to do it?
Oh,
Jesus,
what'd
I
you do?
just
Were you
getting
just
pint after
pulsing-
pint after each
I
of
mean,
them.
there's no
And then I
wrong-
got crowlers of each of them. I didn't.
I don't think there's a wrong way to do it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to pull like little pieces from what they were mentioning in the episode.
What-
You're
what-
probably doing it more right than.
Well, how do you do it?
Well,
Double-
I got a pint of Test Lager 1,
Okay.
which, by the way, it came out like 2 weeks before Test Lager 2. So I had Test Lager 1. I was like, this is a damn fine beer. And then I had a couple more pints of that. And then I went back when Test Lager 2 came out, and I had Test Lager 2 before I had Test Lager 1 that day. I had a Test Lager 2, then a Test Lager 1, full pour, 16-ounce pint. I say full pour, but you could get them in a liter stein. But
Hell yeah.
and then I had them, and I was like, okay, I understand the differences between the two. I understand. They hit it. By the way, they nailed it. They hit it out the park on both. Both beers are amazing. And I even told the bartender who was asking me and talking to me about it, because sometimes I talk to people. And I said, this is really an expression of, they're almost bragging in a sense. Look at this Pilsner, drink this Pilsner, and you're going to love it. And then look at this light American lager, drink this light American lager, you're going to love it. Holy shit, they do this great. It's bragging on both ends. And I know which one I would want to session, and I know which one I would want to put in a contest to represent a particular category. Now, I'm not going to taint the audience by giving my actual vote, and I actually didn't vote.
He voted for
specifically.
Nocturnal.
No.
I just it's a dark lager, so it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
played it. I don't know.
And then,
No. And
then I had Rally Cap because it was still on tap.
Nice.
Totally different beer than the other two, and it was delicious beer as well. So that's how I experienced it. That's how I have done it. I took home a crowler of Test Lager 1 and Test Lager 2. I do plan before all this is over to.
Have you voted yet, or are you?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Are you going to submit a name? Because in addition to like voting for which one you like, you
know-
can also submit a name for the beer
Yes,
to
and
potentially name it. Yeah.
this is my thought, and it's not very meta. It's not very, out there. I would actually, so to back up a little bit, this beer is going to replace Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason this beer is going to replace Blanc, I think they haven't said it, or, this is just my presumption. Blanc on shelves. First of all, it's a fantastic beer.
Yes.
That beer is a great representation of exactly what they want that beer to be. it's going to be available in the tap room, but it's not going out in distribution. They are going to replace that with year-round lager, whatever that name is. Now, to me, Sonder, their whole thing is everybody has a story, right? That's what they say Sonder means.
Yep.
Well, then the beer should be called Sonder Stories, is my opinion.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And it's not unique in any way because that's what they call their podcast. But
But it
if
would be a
everybody
fitting
person has a
name,
story, and this is meant to be the beer that they put out, but that everyone drinks by volume, why not
I
just
can
call it
see that
Sonder
working.
Stories?
Yeah.
Jim,
That's a cool
your
idea.
thoughts?
Yeah. As someone who may or may not be involved in naming beers himself, that's a really
I am
take on
I am the marketing guy for Fretboard, so
true that.
you can take that with a grain of salt.
It's one of the hats that.
Or you could take away the knot. I don't know.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
say, "Wow, he knows what he's talking about," or actually, this guy sucks. What he does. I don't actually. That's not bad.
I like it. I think.
I
it'd make a lot
actually
of sense.
I like that. Well, it's always nice to have a name that's catchy.
Sure.
In this instance, the beer name is called Stories, right?
True.
But
Sure.
you're never going to call it
Stories.
Stories. You're going
It's
to
always
call
gonna
it
be
Sonder
Sonder
Stories.
Stories.
So, it's really not bad.
Marco, you may.
Or I could tell them,
I like.
why not call it Jim?
Oh,
Just Jim.
just Jim.
Like, you just call it Jim. Like,
Or that. Give me a Jim.
yeah, give me a Jim.
Well, we got a Vlad. So give me a Vlad. Give me a Reba. Vlad.
Reba. Yeah.
Oh my God, Joni needs to come back.
Joni needs.
Just saying that.
God, it's so weird you said that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want a.
We just
whole-
talked about it today.
I want a whole women in music beer flight.
I can't
Opportunity.
even. Well, I literally just talked. I can't.
I
Even
mean-
talk.
I mean, that
I
doesn't
can't-
mean anything
I can't talk
actually
about it.
For the
happening.
bonus.
All right.
But-
It's
Or
for the
not.
bonus. Or not.
Or not.
Or off air.
Or
I
not.
literally already
Who
talked
knows?
about. Yeah.
Cool.
Big idea.
Cool.
Julia?
They call those big.
Yes.
All right. So Sonder.
Yes.
Awesome idea, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard what they were doing, I was like, man, that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, Westline's
Really cool.
doing a similar thing right now with their IPAs. They
Yeah.
want to get a new year-round standard core IPA because right now their session IPA and their double IPA are the only
Right.
year-round IPAs that they have. So they did 1 through 4 a couple months ago, 2 months ago, and now 5 through 8 in their experimental series are out that you get to vote on. I don't know if they're going to do a like a public naming option like what Sonder's doing.
Right.
But I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea.
I think it's great
it would
ideas.
I think it would be really cool to.
Well, it brings it back to the community.
It really does.
And you
It really
have
does.
every brewery has fans. If you've been
Yes.
around long enough, you have a certain core group of people that like your beer. And even if they're partial fans or just happen to pick up a 6-pack and go, this is cool. Like that's a great opportunity to get feedback.
Sure.
Because it's really not about what I like.
It's what people are going to buy, what
yeah.
people want to drink.
Well, and that's what the point they had on that podcast was. It's a business decision too. So it's gotta make money. I mean, you just can't put shelf turds out.
I mean, you can.
With the oxidized thing we were
Right.
talking about
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
But seriously, I mean, they want to put out a beer that's a highly drinkable beer
And they
that
want it to be around
sells
for a while, right.
and has a great name.
Right. Like, I think it's fine to do.
It's great.
I think it's
I loved
fine
it.
to do kind of a one-off. I don't know if you want to call it experimental or whatever, like a very small batch of a style or some type of adjuncted version of a beer you make, here and there that
Right.
this is only going to be on for a short amount of time because we just want to have fun. We want to be creative. So we're just putting out a very small amount of something that we wanted to have fun with. I feel like with Sonder, with these lagers, they are having a lot of fun with making these 2 beers, but it goes beyond the one-off.
No, way beyond. Because
Right.
Because
The word's not coming
with
to me, but-
with the volume of the beer that they're replacing, I mean, this is a big deal.
Yes.
I mean, and this, especially when I don't want to get too bogged down in talking about sets at chains and scan data and whether the sets are growing or shrinking and what's taking over the sets and who's setting the sets and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. But to take a beer that you have a spot at a chain for, mm-hmm. And then replacing it with something else, this is a big decision, right, Jim?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard not to get into the discussion about the chain sets and the data and all that stuff, because if you have a spot on the shelf and you have, let's say, 50 spots at the big grocery chain and it went to 40 and then it went to 30, then you go, okay.
We need to make sure whatever is still filling
You're
those
protecting
spots.
the shelf
Yes,
space. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool. Only thing that I think would make this
And
competition...
I'm not saying that's happening to them.
No,
I'm just
but
saying,
just in general, that's kind of a...
But, it makes sense why, if you're correct about replacing a beer, that the lager is going to take over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the only thing that might make this...
I mean, Vlad is our most best-selling beer.
As it should be. It's amazing.
Because it's the most widely consumed.
Yeah, I mean, it's
beverage.
something that you can just drink and drink and keep on drinking. And then why is the 6-pack gone? Why don't I have another 6-pack in the fridge to continue?
And then everyone who asks me why we don't have a dark beer out there, and it's
because people are drinking.
It's Fuji.
Yeah,
is about it.
So,
and it's like, don't get me wrong, we splash some stuff out there, but it's just the dark, Well, and it's drinkable. We still run a business. To Sonder's point, you run a business and you employ people, and you got to sell it. You got to make sure it sells through.
Absolutely.
And the other thing too is that style. First of all, not that style. Vlad's a Pilsner.
Right. That was the American Light Lager.
That's Test Lager 2 is the
Test
American
Lager 2.
Light Lager. Their Pilsner is Test Lager 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But where the growth in craft has to be is trying to find everybody who's drinking that light American lager, that mass-produced one, because those are by far the biggest selling beers in the country and then outside of the country. So anyone who's drinking those has the opportunity to be introduced to these versions of what are, really fantastic drinkable beers from, craft. Mm-hmm. And so that makes a lot of sense. When you can get somebody to replace on their football tailgate those beers with a cooler full of craft beer, mm-hmm. then that's when you start to really, really move the needle with that public.
Agreed. I agree with that.
We were talking about Craft Brewers Conference,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
and how you need to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was Nashville one, and and I'm like, I know it's Dan Carey, but Deborah Carey from New Glarus. It's the husband-wife duo.
There's someone from Sonder that I feel like has some sort of tie
it's Chase.
to,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
you bet.
It was so I know, you betcha. So Deborah Carey was giving the keynote speech, and she said we have to produce spotted cow because that's what essentially keeps them in business.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
It's not that they're enamored with the beer. It's not anything. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to speak ill will of light lagers or mm-hmm. anything else. It's just she said it. She's like, that's, probably whatever 30, 40% of their business is just
which is crazy
spotted
because
cow.
It's only sold in Wisconsin. You can get it outside of it, but you have to have someone pretty much mule it or drive up and get it yourself. For that to be... I guess saying limited distribution would still make sense,
right?
For that to be such a limited distribution beer,
they used to
to make it so.
They used to distribute in other states, and they pulled back.
I didn't know that. Okay.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
what.
And I'll tell you what. Whenever I have it, by the time I'm done with the can that I have, I'm like, it's a good beer. There's nothing overly crazy about it, but it's a good beer. But then whenever I open that second can, it's like, my God, this is good. And I don't know if that's purely because
So why
it's
is
so
it?
limited.
So is it a farmhouse ale though?
No, it's a.
Because isn't
No.
it on the can? Doesn't it say farmhouse ale? Or when you go to check it in on Untapped, does it say farmhouse ale?
I don't pay attention on that.
Yeah.
Here we go, Mr. Marketing.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh. No, because
Nice.
it is definitely not a farmhouse ale. Or if it is,
Fair
it
enough.
is the most mild, non-horse blankety
I don't know.
farmhouse
I'm
that I have
going to have to look it
ever
up. We're going to have to
had.
take a break because you need
I
a
know.
beer.
Now we're
I know.
Well,
Marcus,
let's finish.
I know.
Let's finish
Well, yeah,
Sonder's stories.
we
Yeah,
got to finish
we
Sonder's
have
stories.
I have a
All right.
couple other notes. 2 words: slow pour.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
Sonder.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Waiting for
Fretboard?
Fretboard to do that.
I mean,
Just throwing that
no,
out there.
yes, no. No, right. Yes.
Or a shrug.
I'm not.
Third location?
Ooh, hey,
I'll bring it up.
nice. Let's see. They're going to do their quarterly top 5 Sonder beers, and Rally Cap is no longer on Danny's top 5. That was a shocker.
Well, it's his top 5.
It is. It is. And it's
he's wrong,
perfectly
but it's
fine.
his top 5. That's fine.
He's wrong. He's wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong,
Danny, you're
but
wrong
you know
about your own
it's
self.
Yeah,
yours.
exactly.
They
Screw
had,
you.
They had,
You're wrong.
They had a good amount of teasers about their 4th anniversary, which is on November 5th, which also kind of tiptoes a little bit on Fretboard's
Not far.
anniversary.
They're not
A
that
little-
far.
You
to
should
where-
attend both.
Yeah, you should go to both.
absolutely should.
We're pretty close.
Absolutely. I mean,
Go to
just
both.
make
That's
multiple
fine.
times.
I
Like,
wish
go up there.
I wish Sonder was closer.
That would be awesome.
That would actually be pretty cool.
And the last
would
note
be.
that I
March
had.
1st, Sonder, us, all.
Yes.
It's kind of like
Get the brew bus to do the whole,
Yeah.
Oh yes.
the whole tour
Yeah.
Yes.
for
That'd
the
be pretty cool.
anniversary.
Didn't they do? I don't remember if it was Cincy Brewcast, but didn't the?
I don't know when the
Northern
March 1st anniversary is.
Man, if only there was a good way to remember.
I know. How do you
How can we
remember
figure that
If
out?
there was only a way to remember when March 1st anniversary is.
No idea why we bring it up either.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's so
That's weird.
Yeah, so weird.
Last note I had on this episode of Sonder Stories. What are you listening to?
Yeah,
This segment was 5 minutes long, and 4 of those minutes was the intro song. So
that's true. That's true.
come on, guys. I expect more out of you. But no,
No,
it is
and-
great to have Sonder Stories back. It
It's
is
really
so
good.
great to have Sonder
It was cool. I
Stories
really
back,
enjoyed
and,
the test logger thing. That was neat.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. The only thing that I think would make that competition cooler, and logistically, I have no idea how they would do this, if it's even possible, but a website that you can see real time, like
Oh my
the
god,
votes, like which
that's like
ones-
mind blowing right there.
like which
Well,
one.
I'm already
is-
stealing their idea, and then now I got your idea.
Yes.
So there we go.
That's
There we go.
amazing to be able
I'm
to
in.
actually
Thank you,
see
Sonder.
votes
Thank you,
in
Julia.
live.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell
Just-
yeah.
Or maybe it refreshes once every 24 hours. I don't know, but some kind of visual way to see. I wonder which one's doing better, and maybe
love
that,
it.
and maybe. I don't know. Maybe that would encourage.
You just got to be
spam
worried
voting. I
about
have no
the
idea.
bots from
Exactly.
Big Beer, loading up
Rock 'em,
one
sock 'em,
particular
pop
category.
voting. It's true.
Which,
you know what?
which
They're-
big beer would do it?
Cool. Yeah.
Which
yeah.
one?
Which
The-
Lee, we're looking at you.
Lee.
Don't you be
Yeah,
messing up.
we'll
these
fill you
votes.
in, Jim.
Yeah,
on
we'll
Lee.
fill you
All
in.
right.
All right, we're gonna take a break so that Marco can get another beer, and Jim maybe, depending on how fast
we'll
you
see.
want to throw that one
That's
back.
up to Jim.
And then
Oh, I can crush that right now.
Let's
there we
go.
All right, and we will come back with Cincy Brewcast. Guys, it is amazing. I have another beer.
Hey,
I
Julia
have-
did it.
I have a new beer. I
Congratulations,
finished.
Julia.
I finished one, and I'm on my second.
I'm
Thanks
a
to Jim
big
for picking
kid
this out.
now.
Did you get the same thing, Jim?
I did.
How do you like it?
It's good.
This is Rheingeist Dunk.
Dunkel.
They're Dunkelweizen.
It's a Munich Dunkel.
Yeah,
Munich
it-
style Dunkel.
It is. I love this. I love this so much. It is a darker beer, which is perfect for a fall day that's still almost 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's almost 80.
I almost,
Oh,
wore,
man.
I almost wore shorts today.
It's crazy. It's
I love
crazy.
it.
And Marco, what?
Jorts.
We've had a good fall, actually.
We have.
It's been
We've
nice.
had a great fall.
Yeah, it's been
Great fall.
nice.
Marco's rocking the jorts, and what's in your glass?
Yeah, I got the jorts, and I have Mystic Mama American IPA from Jackie O's.
I almost
Very
got
nice.
that.
Yeah,
I did.
Very nice.
What was holding you back?
Her.
Okay.
Whoa! Don't
She
blame
was like,
this
"Well,
on.
I got to drive to the west side."
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and
I
then
did
so we
say
looked-
that the limit. I asked Jim to pick my next beer, and I said I have a long drive home. It
Well,
has to be under 9%.
I found a Dunkel, and I was like, "I got to go with
Hell
the
yeah.
Dunkel." So
Are you upset about the Dunkel?
No.
There you go.
No, I'm happy.
So, all right.
No, we're good.
All right. Okay, we have one podcast left to cover.
We can do it. I know we
We can do it. I have faith in all of us. And it is, get ready to cheers, guys,
All right,
the
cheers.
Cincinnati Brewcast. Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a drink. This is season or volume 8, episode 23, depending on how you want to do that. Alexandria is Stylin. So, 2 guesses. Which brewery did the gnome go to for this episode?
Darkness.
Ooh, close.
Alexandria?
Ding, 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 ding. We have
I
a
even
winner.
listened. That's
Man,
crazy.
it's almost like he listened to the podcast or read the title of the podcast.
I kind of listened to a little bit.
All right. He had Andy Reynolds on the show, which it's always nice to have Andy on. He always has really, really good things, really good conversations, really in-depth discussions, which this episode was. It was a very long episode, and it was a much more beer geeky episode, a much more kind of technical episode.
I'm here for it. And Andy, if you ever want to start a pod, reach out to us, reach out to the Gnome. I'd love to hear all these technical things. I mean, as a graduate of Siebel, I don't know if you guys picked that up. I mean, he's a graduate of Siebel, so he's learned. You could start a podcast. You can call it Reynolds Raps. And I think it would be amazing content.
He could start by being off on our podcast.
He could be.
And we could show him the ways.
Yeah.
The
and then
dark
lead into
radicals
the
of-
ways.
Yeah.
The ways of
Reynolds
the
Raps.
ways.
I say that like we have any idea of what we're doing. We have been, it's,
You guys do a great job.
we try.
Jim.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
We try not to get too tangented.
I was
My
just
God,
saying
it's
that
been,
because I was hoping you buy me another beer.
sitting,
God, if I give him compliments, God,
Maybe
they'll
they'll
just
buy
keep
me more
buying me
beer.
beer.
absolutely.
That's all
Absolutely,
it
we
takes,
will.
Jim. I mean, come
Hell
on.
yeah.
God, you guys do so good. Can I have another?
Yes, yes, done,
Boom.
done. Keep it going.
Another round.
Why does this man have his own tab? No. We cannot have that. This is all going on Jason's tab for higher gravity. It is part of the house costs.
Yeah.
Right?
JP.
Just saying that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Just saying that. He brought the PTSD-inducing trivia up again.
Yeah, he did.
I almost had to stop listening. I was
it didn't have the
so
text that-
upset about. Well, I mean.
Oh, and
no-
you gave me the eye when I did that. You're
Yeah,
like,
I did. I
hey.
did give you the eye. It's
That's
twitching.
PTSD from the ticking.
So, Jim, did you listen to the the Big Sis episode that Gnome did?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Oh my God,
So
it was
I don't.
awful.
What's the PT? You have to
It's
explain this.
terrible. Yeah, it
Yes,
was. It
please.
was terrible. It was horrific. So near the end of the episode,
Okay.
Gnome decided he wanted to bring some people up to do some Cincinnati beer-related trivia.
I don't listen to these podcasts by the Gnome because I don't like him. He's not a nice person.
Well,
He's evil.
he's a person. Well, or is he a gnome? I mean, he's
Yeah, we're not
he's-
sure what he is.
He said
It's
no.
okay. It's okay. 13% gnome according to Ancestry.com.
Correct, yes.
I'm just kidding.
No, he's great.
No, I
so
didn't listen.
near
All
the
right.
near the end of the Big Sis live episode that Marco was co-host on,
Right.
He was like, "Hey, let's get some people up to do some craft beer trivia." And Andy Reynolds was one person. Then Gnome was like, "Julia, you're running the raffle table. Why don't you walk away from that and do this?" And I'm like, "All right, whatever, sure, fine."
Sure.
And when I am put on the spot like that, like any knowledge that I may actually have inside this empty tin can on my shoulders disappears.
Well, that's
it just
not-
goes away.
That's not fair to yourself.
Or tin cans. I mean,
That's fair.
but so he even mentioned in this episode, he's like, I thought that they were pretty decent trivia questions, which they were, but neither Andy nor I knew like half of the things that he was asking about. I felt so bad.
Well,
being able to-
ultimately-
How was Gnome
But-
asking?
Oh, man.
they-
If I'd have thought about it before to pull those questions back up,
well,
would have been cool.
One of the questions that I actually almost answered correctly, but I second guessed my gut instinct was from Streetside Brewing. What beer did they release in
Oh.
12-ounce cans?
Was it very like?
If you get this on the first try, I'm going to shoot you.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you that now.
I didn't know you brought your gun.
No.
No, I have rubber bands. I'll just.
So
okay.
was it all? It was all very.
It was all Cincinnati-based, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, it was.
That could be
it was-
tough, though.
it was
There's a lot of
people-
breweries.
What were the
It
three
was tough.
categories? People, beer, and history, I believe, are the three categories.
Oh, so what was the answer?
Street Side's Raspberry Beret. Which I thought, I'm like, Raspberry Beret, and I'm
Okay.
like, shit, no, Raspberry Beret, I don't think that was ever in 12-ounce cans. And then turns out that it was, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
But what gave me PTSD?
Well, no, hold on. The question was the first beer they released in 12-ounce cans?
Yeah, right.
Or they
only released it
one.
once in 12-ounce cans.
Well,
something like that.
that's hard as hell.
It's hard,
Yeah.
right?
That's a very tough question.
They were.
Well, you would get.
I don't even know if I can answer that question for us.
Well, but you
For
would
fretboard. Like, we only did this once. I don't know. Maybe?
Yeah, so we
Chase
talked
the devil?
But I'll tell you what.
Chase the devil.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Does he work for Sonder? One of the founders.
Chase the devil.
Is that his nickname?
It is now.
It is now.
It is now. It is now our truth.
I don't know. I mean,
It is now our truth.
That's a tough question.
It is, and a lot of them I thought were like that, where they were so new. One of the easier ones, I say easier with air quotes for people not watching the live
Sure.
stream, was what owner of a local brewery was almost burnt to a crisp on the side of the highway. And part of that, and I think this was part of
I
the
think
question.
if you give away the vehicle, you give away the
I think part of the question was like, and part of that experience or that thing is part of like their tap room or part of their like branding or whatever. 50 West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the bug caught on fire.
Yeah,
Or
Bobby
the VW,
Slattery.
not the bug, but the VW,
VW
bus
caught on fire.
Caught on fire.
Right.
So
For who? Bobby?
yeah, for Bobby.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is just from previous episodes of Cincy Brewcast
Yeah.
when they talked about
That's
it.
cool.
I mean,
right.
they were good
What
questions.
two?
But
What two
gave me-
people were on every
Ooh,
season
yes, of Cincy.
of Cincy Brewcast? There's only been 2 guests that have been on every season.
And gnome is not a correct answer.
Right.
The gnome.
Well, I said Andy because there's always an Andy.
From a brewery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Andy's a good one. That's a good guess.
I know, and when I said they're like, well, which one? I'm like, does it matter?
Doesn't
They're
matter.
all Andys. And
There's a
apparently
bunch-
that wasn't the right answer. Apparently
It's
that
not.
wasn't accurate.
It's not.
No.
I don't know.
So
Was it Brett
was
and Garrett?
Brett Coleman Baker, and then it was
Like Garrett?
Garrett from
From
Street Side.
I was going to guess Brett
Yeah.
or Urban Artifact. Somebody
Yeah.
from Urban. Okay.
Yeah.
Street Side.
So they were, like I said, they were good questions, but I just, what got me the most, what gave me the PTSD that they talked about, a little bit in the beginning of this episode was he had like the time ticking down music right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
but
shit.
It was
I
more
don't
the
know what-
60 minutes.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, the
Yes.
You don't know anything.
It was exactly,
And that's what-
exactly,
that's what
and I'm
it's
just like,
like-
you're right.
Yeah,
I
it was-
don't.
it was
hold
stressing
on.
you.
It was terrible.
High level,
Yeah.
palm sweating,
Anxiety.
stress.
Yeah.
And I thought that I'd gotten past it, but then they brought it up again in this episode, and I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
I still have not recovered from that. So, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just feel like I am.
This is why I don't do trivia.
And
Oh my
because
God.
actually,
I'm
this
not
is
smart.
the first.
Well, and what's crazy
I
is
used
like,
to be smart, and I'm
what's
not.
crazy is
not.
random trivia. Like I can pull stuff out, like, oh, that's this, that's this, that's this. You put me on the spot with something specific.
Yeah.
It's all
I think
gone.
a lot of people are
It
like
is
that, though.
all gone.
Yeah, but a lot
Sure.
of people
Yeah.
are. I mean, that's
absolutely.
That's normal.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's see what else. Let's get back to the actual episode.
I got a funny car band story, by the way.
Sweet.
I am down.
We're here for it.
So,
episode.
Bonus.
so stick around for that. It's going to be awesome. This was an interesting comparison, I guess you can say, that they made. Alexandria is to Cincinnati, as the west side is to the east side. When you try to put in relation, like how to get from one to the other, or how far apart things are, is it downtown? Is it not downtown? I'm trying to bring it all together with it.
I mean, distance maybe. I think
Distance,
I think
like-
it's because it's perception, right?
right. I feel
And
like
so that's what they were talking about. And perception is, if you're on the west side, like, oh my God, I gotta go out the fretboard and Blue Ash.
oh my god,
It's
it's
so
awful.
far away. Or even
Terrible.
Fairfield. Like, I mean, oh my God, I gotta go out to Blue Ash. I'm like, it takes me 20 minutes to
Well,
drive
but I
on the
think-
highway
I think doing something
with
that's
side
not-
roads. With side roads.
And the other thing is, it's not a terrible drive.
Right.
I went to the west side, terrible drive, by the way.
that is
just saying.
actually
Well,
it's
but-
worse
Just
getting.
saying.
It's worse getting into the
Terrible
side.
drive.
Yes.
If
I mean-
you can get out, you're lucky.
If you get out of the west side, it's
Good
a lot easier.
God, that's why I've
No,
never
I
even
agree.
tried. I've just never tried. It's not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the west side is a complete maze. going from anywhere in Cincinnati to northern Kentucky, it's more of a straight shot.
But it takes me, so from where I live in Fairfield, it takes me the same amount to see Andy over at Brink as it does to get to Fretport.
See. Okay. Oh, okay.
Driving wise, 20 minutes.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow.
All right.
That's mind blowing.
It's back roads and lights, and
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is very,
there you
very
go.
true.
I mean,
That's a song lyric there.
Back roads and lights.
Ooh.
Back roads and lights.
There you go.
I'm going on a back road tonight.
There you go.
That's terrible.
Hey, this is.
I could write songs.
I was just going to say, this is your next hit. That either has
Back
to be
roads
a
and
line of the
lights.
song,
It's all
or it
about-
has to be the song
it's all about
title.
Cincinnati
Either way.
and the West Side.
The
versus,
random
like,
country singer writer that's listening to this is gonna be
Oh,
like,
my
I got a hit.
Like, hey.
Back roads and lights.
Shit,
This
yeah.
one. Got this one.
Oh, yeah.
This was a very style talk heavy episode. As I said in the beginning, very, very geeky, very technical.
That's what I
This
got
was-
out of it. Yeah,
this
which I
was-
kind of liked.
I do too. I love
No,
the
I dug-
episodes.
I dug it.
I love the
I
episodes
liked it.
where they are. It's more about the brewery as a whole, the experience, the visuals, the beer, the taste. This one was more about really digging into the actual like styles, and can some styles be made outside of where they originated? Lambic is the big example that they always pull from. Can you make a lambic beer,
Yeah.
even if you call it lambic style, outside of Belgium?
You know what?
Why can't you? If
I'm
you're
a-
following everything the same, champagne, the grapes, yes, technically.
Screw it.
yes.
You can call it a lambic
Sure.
if it's made
So,
like
Sure. I'm gonna
But
go
you-
back to
but
our
you have to
previous
call it a
Alexandria.
lambic, or
In
can
Alexandria,
you call it a lambic style? Like,
No.
do you care?
who gives a shit? Just
I
you,
don't.
Yeah.
you
Is
call
it
it lambic.
good? Is
Yeah.
it good?
I don't
Yes?
give a
Cool.
shit.
If Andy makes a lambic
I don't
beer,
give a shit.
he
I don't
makes-
give a
he makes-
shit. So
Shit.
I'm going to go back to our previous episode with Dave Volkman. We asked him about two questions in two different podcasts, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to get bogged down in that." And those were two things that they went off on a tangent on that I just didn't want to get bogged down on. Like talking about some of the other stuff, the brewer geeky stuff, I was in for, but whether you can call something a something or something not, and something from this region and all this other, whatnots, like I check out on those conversations.
Well, and I know in the initial part, Andy was talking about pilsners, and then we
Sure.
were talking about Czech pilsners and this pilsner, and like we've had those same discussions, because then I'll get corrected. I'll say, "Oh, it's a Czech style pilsner, lad," and then Kevin will come to me, my partner, and he'll be like, "That's not a Czech style pilsner," and I'm like, "What?"
Okay, so we're just gonna say
all right,
pilsner
all right,
and be done with it.
So I'm the moron, you know what I mean? So what is it? And it's an international style pilsner, and I'm like,
Well, Czech is international, so therefore I'm not wrong either.
like again, I'm
But
not.
how about
I'm-
check this?
I'm not
It's a
complaining.
pilsner.
I'm not complaining, but it gets tough. You know what I mean?
It is. It is.
And
It is.
so, as much as we pretend not to be the wine industry, we end up being the wine industry.
Right. And while I think that there is a bit of some validity to the discussion.
There absolutely
to
is.
The,
For sure.
To appreciating, I heard that on the mic, Mark. Very
Oh, wow.
nice.
Damn.
To, well, I'm not going to do my stupid human trick into the mic. We'll do that later.
Jim's gonna find out. Jim's gonna find out.
I feel
If you don't
like,
know, you're gonna know.
I feel like it's like, yes, if you want to appreciate the history of the style, where it came from, the very rigidity of that style to a T, sure, you can still appreciate it, but still make that style outside of the region or outside of the one specific ingredient. As you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can still acknowledge and respect and appreciate the parent of a style. With,
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
I
still
checked
call
out.
it a lambic, still call it a
on
Czech,
that part of the
whatever.
conversation.
I don't know.
What I will say is that as they were going through, and the gnome says, "Let's have another beer," and Andy goes, "Okay, this is our black IPA," and
And you heard everyone-
I screamed. Number one, I thought, "Fuck off with your Cascadian Dark Ale," and number two, I went, "Why? Are we in 1997?
I like them.
Why?" And then he went, and here's what I appreciate. He went on to say why he did it.
Yes.
And for me,
Yes.
the why in which he did it makes sense to make that style.
Yes.
And it harkens back to when they were first open or when they were first brewing, and so much of their client base wanted to have this black IPA come back, and it's like, okay, if you've got a demand for it and people are asking for it, great, bring it back. Obviously, it's not anything that's
it's
in
business.
it's for your tap room. So do that. And I respected that as an answer. Now, if I owned my own brewery and was going to put out a beer, it wouldn't be a black IPA unless for some reason there was some hearkening back to a something or something that triggered this for that particular reason, because we're not in 1997. I don't need a black IPA. However, from a...
Was that really 1997?
I don't know. Whatever.
It's not. That's like way too far ago. Like long ago.
Maybe 2007.
In the
I don't-
year 2000. Anyway.
Bring out the keyboard.
I didn't
Yeah.
know IPA. No. IPA, well, okay.
Say it, Jim. What?
I'm thinking 2013.
But it sounded better.
Sure, but it sounds
Like 1997.
I'm just trying to
It's not as dramatic.
I am really trying to figure out a timeline, because I remember when black IPA, like the first time I had a black IPA, and I was like, oh, cool. I was like, oh, IPAs. And
Is it a
then
hoppy porter? Is it a multi IPA?
It was a multi IPA. One I had.
Sure.
Many of them were multi IPAs.
Was that Identity
And
Crisis from Matrix?
No, actually,
No, I'm
wasn't.
just saying, like the one. I think the first one that I had. I think Identity Crisis was a black IPA, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a mix between
Or ish.
two things. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
great name, by the way. I think.
Yeah. I remember
yeah.
the can. The can was like that
Yeah.
black and white.
I thought it was a cool
thing.
name.
And-
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it was black and white. Weren't the
Watching
labels upside down?
FCC player walking down the street.
I'm thinking like 2013. Back
That-
in
that-
'97
that
when
was-
we had
Way
black
back,
IPAs.
way
Yeah,
back in the
way
day,
back in
when we-
97.
when we only had 5 beer styles, and then this
You had
black
amber
IPA
beer
came in,
and you had
holy
golden
crap.
beer.
You just kept saying '97, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I was
Stuck on that.
exaggerating.
this time
It was
frame is
exaggerating.
killing me."
Yeah, so that was for dramatic effect. But
It's our truth.
sorry to
1997 was the
confuse you
first
there.
Cascadian dark ale that hit the Cincinnati streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our
Yeah.
truth now. We have spoken it into existence. It is
Sure.
now part of
Truth
our
was
lore.
definitely from '84.
Oh, it had to have been.
yeah,
Had to have been.
Yeah, that '84 Citra crop was
Oh,
amazing.
shit.
It was amazing.
It
That
was
was the shit right
crazy.
there.
Oh, my God.
But I respected the answer, right? And
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah.
as somebody, if a proprietor and a brewer saying we did this because of this, I was like, totally get it.
Sure.
Respect that.
Sure.
Outside of that, don't know why you would do it, but respect respect it that you did it. So
I'm
Yeah.
totally coming to the table next week and advocating for a black IPA.
And
I want to see how far that
drink the
goes.
shit out of it.
It's not.
It's not going to
not.
go anywhere, is it?
It's going to die. The
That's
minute
why-
I say it, they're going to look at me and they go,
There you
"What
go.
the
They'll look at you and be like, you were talking to those Truth Beer Pod guys again, weren't you? And you'll
Yeah,
like,
they'll be like,
"Yes."
"Shut up, Jim."
Oh, my God.
Does anyone want to
Another-
listen to the marketing guy? Well, he's the founder. I know, but I mean, you just said
Shut up, Jim.
black IPA.
Oh, my God.
I actually like the style.
I do too.
Truly,
I do too.
didn't
I
drink
have
it.
no issues
Fine.
with it. Yeah,
Whatever.
I like it.
Again, nobody's going to buy it in the can.
But hey,
So,
Look,
but hey,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
to each their own, and there is nothing wrong with whatever beer style you enjoy.
No, there's
Period.
not.
You know what the funny thing is? If I go down and see them now, so I go down to Alexandria, I'd probably order the black
IPA.
I totally
Oh, yeah.
would.
You would?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Out of spite, out of nothing.
No,
but
that's not spite. I would out of love.
Teasing. Yeah.
I'd
There
say,
you go.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Gosh, shit, I haven't had one of these in a while.
Well, maybe after the urban artifact thing. that we
Yeah,
did.
we'll take a trip down to Alexandria. That'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
As long as you're driving.
Whew.
No, not
That's going to be either
Yeah.
the best or the worst.
Somebody
idea
else.
Julia.
ever. Yeah.
Julia's
I
driving.
trust Julia.
Yeah.
All right, we've been here for 3 hours, and she's only managed to finish one 12-ounce can of a seltzer. She's the driver.
Excellent.
That's what happened.
Good God.
What else you got? What my
Decoction.
notes? My notes. I can't do it anymore with the
No.
decoction.
All I wanted to say about decoction is
I don't
it
want
was
to I don't want to talk about
there was
that.
nothing about it in the show notes. However, if you search for decoction on thenarlynome.com, you get 12 articles. That's all I'm saying.
It's 11 too many.
I know all about it. I don't want to talk about
Oh man.
Get-
And let's see. So I mean, we need
Okay,
to
cheers.
cheers
Cheers.
to that.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about
There
Done
we
with
go.
that. I don't want to talk
Fuck
about
decoction or whatever.
I can't even talk right now.
We have made Jim so angry with the.
I'm not
sheer
angry.
mention- I know.
I don't get angry
All
very
right.
often.
I had 2 other notes because
Except that
we
gnomes.
need to
I only
wrap
have two.
up-
Two
Gnomes
notes,
make
too.
me angry.
Don't they? Yeah.
God, they just
Yeah.
yeah.
They're freaking spaghetti and waffles and bullshit. I don't
Spaghetti
even
and waffles.
know. I don't even know what's happening anymore. We need to wrap this episode up so that we can get on to the bonus episode where we will continue to go down God knows what rabbit holes.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing.
It's all about holes. It's going to
The
be
last-
amazing.
All right, so
I could say so
When-
much.
and you will.
What happened?
And you will. Just give us a few minutes here.
All right.
Apparently, when it comes to talking about food partners in breweries, which is a huge thing.
Oh, my God.
That is a whole podcast topic in and of itself.
That's a massive thing right there.
Fretboard has done
Yeah.
the most amazing job with getting smoked out barbecue in there. It has fit so incredibly well.
Thank you.
Alexandria Brewing is working on finding that same partner that fits that well.
Right, a
into
partner
what
that
they're
fits as
doing.
well. Exactly.
But I mean, Gnome said himself he's not good with working with people, so we'll have to see what Andy at Alexandria, who he finds that he works well with, because you are sharing your space with another business, because breweries don't typically want to run restaurants as well. It's kind of what I got out of that part of the conversation.
so for Andy, if you need help, give me a call.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, or if you need some advice, I'll give you what we've learned.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the last thing that I had is a multiple choice question. I'm sorry, Michael. I stepped over top of you.
Well, I was just going to say that is a major topic. I think
It's a huge topic. Yeah.
back when black IPAs were a thing,
In 97.
97.
it wasn't necessary for your brewery to have food.
No.
I think coming out of that into the Technicolor age, and then into the full on high def age,
Shit, now we're doing Bluetooth.
you need to have food, and you need to have it because you want people to come there. You want people to come on peak times. You want people to stay. You want people to go there for a myriad of different reasons. You can almost look at it as an alternative to entertainment, where if you're not having music on a Saturday, then you better have food, because you got to have a reason for people to want to go there, number one, beyond having one beer or two, and to stay a while to where they have more than one beer or two. It's a big conversation that we don't necessarily need to get into right now.
I was actually going to ask you, Marco, if you wanted to do a Cincy Brewery News mini episode about that, because of the recent announcements of Mama Bear Mac in Greenworks and Dewey's Pizza being the food provider for Braxton Covington in 2023. It is that big of a topic
That's huge.
that you can talk about. But then I'm like,
Yeah.
Jim's going to be here. I want to make sure that we have enough time to talk with you about.
I happen to be
Everything
there
under
on
the sun,
Mama Bear's mac
but
and
it's-
cheese
did
opening
it.
weekend. And yes, that is a great topic.
It's a good topic for
yeah.
its own episode.
Yeah.
For its own
Absolutely.
episode.
Well, because
Absolutely.
it's so much to talk about. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loves food.
Yeah,
God.
everybody loves food.
I think food becomes food is first before beer, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, if you ask Dell, you can survive on beer alone.
You can
For a while.
But
it's
when it
not-
comes to food, everybody goes, so here's how it works. So they go, do they have food?
It's true.
And they don't care what the
Absolutely.
food is. They just
Just
want to know that they have food.
something
Food
that's
truck,
more than a
food,
bag of
something.
chips or a microwave
and
pretzel.
so
Right.
it doesn't matter
What it
as
is.
long
Sure.
as they have food.
Agreed.
Now,
Agreed.
whether they have dinner at your place or they come there for, just some
More
appetizers,
appetizer type stuff, yeah.
bar bites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they just want to know. It was very important for us to have food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, we wanted to differentiate ourselves with the style of food. So
barbecue is perfect.
Yeah.
So perfect.
But we just ate at salads
Fuck salads.
after 5 years.
Unless
Actually, I love a good salad. But
That's
I
great.
mean, it,
but
yeah,
but I mean, that was a huge request for that many years.
Yeah.
And so we have salads now.
The place
Yeah.
I used to brew at, the owner added salads, and didn't think it was going to go over well, and was shocked by the response to salads.
We didn't think
It's a good salad. I don't like romaine lettuce, like iceberg lettuce, whatever. I just don't like it. But if you have...
We didn't think we would sell wine either, and then we got our A1A license and sold a shit ton of wine. Because, there are a lot of people who don't drink beer. There are a lot of people who don't eat barbecue. They want a salad.
God, I was at the bar yesterday, and your bartender had a lady come up, and she's like, "Yep, I got wine. I got this, and this. I think it was 4, maybe 5. I think wines and
seltzers. So, and we don't do any seltzers. We don't make every wine.
They were able to say,
just give people what they want.
You got red, we got this. You got white, we got this. Bubbly, fizzy, here you go. And then it was interesting. Julia, who do you want to get to introduce the multiple choice?
Ooh. I'd love to say Morgan Freeman, but he's been kind of a dick lately.
Yeah.
We've had Frank Stallone. I don't know how many. He's still answering the phone. That's so.
He ain't got shit to do.
Given.
It's his brother that's got shit to do. He ain't got shit to do.
I think Vlad should.
Oh, fuck. Jim called it. Oh, Marcus taking off his headphones. Yeah, let's see if he picks up.
Why? Because Vlad offended so many people at
that was
fretboard last time.
So great.
And, God.
That was so great.
And he's the official name of our one beer. It's not actually.
Okay. Well, this is.
I consider changing it just for that asshole.
How about Vlad the Impaler?
Oh yeah, Vlad the Impaler. All right, and that's really what the beer is named after.
Yes,
not the guy.
Yes,
that other country.
Yes. So,
that
do you
causes
think you can get the Impaler? Yeah. I would say on the phone, but I guess it would be like from the other side of the curtain, the shadow realm, whatever, wherever.
Where's he live? In Transylvania?
He still lives.
Close enough.
He's never dead.
Sure,
he's never dead.
Enough.
He's never dead.
That's true.
This is Halloween week.
Yeah.
Oh,
you pull him
yes.
out.
Yes.
Let's get him.
All right, got him.
Hello. This is Vlad. I know I am very busy around Halloween with showing up to children's parties, doing this new thing where Cameo. I do Cameo. $39.99. I can scare your friends. Tell them I'm going to show up and suck the blood. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've been able to be in the spotlight like this, especially since I can't be in daylight. I'm here this week to ring in the special time of Halloween and also to introduce Julia's multiple choice. So, have a happy Halloween.
Holy shit. Am I allowed to say holy around you, Vlad? I mean, I don't want to, like, burn
As
you.
long as you don't have water or garlic or steak.
No. That would set me on fire.
Vlad, I love your beer.
Oh, his beer is the best. That fretboard place is.
Honestly, I want to talk about the beer. That beer is so good. When I really appreciate you naming beer after me, the Impaler. It's so good. After a night of, floating around and sucking blood, when I went to thin it out, little Vlad goes a long way.
It's perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Holy shit.
Jim, right?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I have a cameo coming your way.
Oh, my God.
That was a good one.
On
I have
that
a
note,
CD. Do people do CDs anymore? It's a long time. I used to. There were doing the recordings and then the CD. I should drop something new soon. I should drop something on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. It's gonna be great hits. I'm singing a lot of American standards. I do a lot of American standards.
Vlad, I love you and your beer.
I love you too.
Yeah. Hey, no neck biting, please.
No, you are good.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No biting, just suck it. Wait.
I don't want to be your
It's
victim.
all the hops you smell like.
I want to be your six-pack victim.
Yeah, all the hops you smell like garlic. I can't do this. So you're fine.
I'm gonna die. Holy shit. That was amazing.
I want to be your six-pack victim.
That is amazing. All right.
Hey, thanks, Vlad.
Thank you, Vlad.
He's a good dude.
Appreciate you. He is. He's much
a little
more...
misunderstood, but anyway.
Yes, I was just going to say, much more personable
He's a good
than
dude.
I thought.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been around a long time.
A very long
Yeah,
time. He's
yeah.
figured out how to...
Well, he gets it.
Yeah, how to appeal to the people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good dude.
All right, the last note for this episode of Cincy Brewcast with Andy Reynolds of Alexandria Brewing. According to Andy Reynolds, which one of these is not one of the 4 native beer styles? Is it A, the Kentucky Common? Is it B, the Amber Ale? Or C, is it steam beer?
I'm going to bring the D. This is Marco, and what I do is I bring the D. So Julia gave you A, B, C, and I bring the D.
What
was
is-
the question?
What's not? I'm reading from your notes.
Yeah. If you can read them, go
If
for
I can
it.
read. What's not one of the four native beer styles? I only see 3, so you're the D. Okay.
I am the D.
Created in the U.S. Kentucky Common, Amber Ale,
Yeah.
steam beer.
Okay. Got it.
You're D.
Is that the style or is
No. All right. Yes, thank you, everyone. And that's true. That's what I do. I bring the D, and the D. Option D is Kolsch.
Oh. You
That
broke
one?
Jim.
Of course it's not D.
Oh my God, you just
Or we
broke
could do,
Jim.
hold on.
It can't be cold. Can you make it harder?
That's what you, oh, wait.
Remember, it's created in the U.S.
That's what I do is I bring the D, so thank you. So option D is going to be Cascadian Dark Ale.
Oh, nice.
Is that even a style?
It's our
I don't want to
truth.
give it away.
Black
It's our
IPA.
It is
What,
our
black
truth.
what?
IPA?
Oh, I thought you said
Oh, my
something
God.
else.
Oh, my bad.
Oh my God. Good God.
Like black ice. You got to be careful.
No.
This is going to be so much fun to edit. We are over 2 hours already.
Hell yeah.
So
My wife's like, God damn it.
what is happening here? Jim, thank you so much. We
Yeah,
have a
thank you.
If you,
It's so
if you
much
are
fun.
still able to stick around for a little bit, we
I
would
am.
love to do more. Otherwise, we're going to force you to come back just to do a bonus.
Hold on, let me see if I'm.
See if you're.
No, I'm good.
Are you in trouble?
All right,
You're
we're
not in
good?
trouble
No,
yet.
no,
All
my,
right.
my brother's just my other brother texting me.
We're good.
He
Well,
wanted
two-
he wanted Mellowship. I have a lot.
Everyone wants Mellowship.
I have a
It's
lot
so
of-
fucking good.
I have a lot of fucking people who want
oh
Mellowship.
my God! Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, he returned my amplifier, my guitar amp.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
So I guess he deserves at least 2 cans, maybe not a full 6-pack,
No, he could buy it.
but there you go.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
how it goes with family.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Before
Thank
we get to the
you.
I
bonus,
really
is there
appreciate you guys
anything-
and Vlad, the
and
Impaler.
Vlad, my God. What would you like to plug, to push from Fretboard, anything before we plug our own stuff?
Well,
before we
stop
end
out
this?
for Halloween this weekend. We have our Halloween bash. Also, our 5th anniversary is coming up
Mm-hmm.
on the 4th and 5th.
And is that at both locations?
just
it mostly
just Blue Ash?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you guys are like at Fretboard or Fretboard Brewing.
Fretboardbrewing.com. And then, oh, by the way, we're tailgating with the beer van down at the Bengals game on the 6th.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So get down there,
We
cheer
can't
on the
we can't
Bengals.
sell beer
But you can
because
give it
that's
away.
not so we're just down there tailgating
Hell
with
yeah.
beer in the van.
Sounds excellent. So go join Jim in a van down by the river
Yes.
before the Bengals
Down
game.
by the river. Longworth Hall.
It's going to
We're
be
just
amazing.
down by the river.
All right. If you like what we have done tonight, my God, we liked what we did tonight. Please give us a like, review, subscribe, share, follow, all of the stuff you normally do for all the podcasts that you enjoy. We are at Truth Beer Pod on all your favorite social media platforms. If you would like to send us any complaints about this episode because Vlad was somehow offensive to you. Who knows? At Raging Hop on Twitter. If you would like to send us an email about anything, truthbeerpod@gmail.com. And if you would like to monetarily support the podcast, become a sponsor, do anything to help us to continue to grow, to buy more merch, to give out more stickers, coasters, maybe t-shirts, something with live stream. truthbeerpod.com. There is a nice blue buy us a pint link. We would really appreciate it. Other than that, Jim, Marco,
Thank you.
this was so much fun. I'm going to pretend that our glasses aren't all empty. Mine's not because, again, slow-ass drinker.
Mine's empty.
They're all empty.
Jim, you're more than welcome to join on this, but Marco, what are you going to be doing next Tuesday?
I'm going to be listening to all the craft beer podcasts that come out this week, and I will get together with you here next week. Cheers.
Sounds great. See you
Cheers.
guys later.